Hey y'all, Marley here with Flipsy Gypsy. In this video today we're going to talk about auctions. Keep looking that way. My notes were over there. So yeah, are auctions worth your time as a reseller? Now, personally, in my experience with auctions so far, I would say absolutely. Especially as a mom with 3 young kids. My kids are currently 5, 3, and 1. To make reselling work as a business for us, and in order for me to consistently source, along with doing Goodwill and resale shops and garage sales and all that jazz, auctions are a huge source for me, and they're so much easier than physically going somewhere with all the kids. As much as they love it, and it is fun, but it's also stressful. If any of you have children, small children, you know what it's like whenever you try to walk into a Goodwill or any other department store that has anything that remotely looks like a toy. My kids have kind of gotten in the groove with things, over the past year and a half, 2 years. So it's not that bad. We have a routine. They know what the rules are. But still, it's a lot of, get out of the clothing racks. Don't hang on the clothing racks. No, we can't buy all the toys. So going into stores a lot, all day, is exhausting. So auctions, online auctions specifically is what I'm talking about, are an awesome source for product. And I use a website called Hybid. Not sponsored here by Hybid, just a really awesome website that is they basically are the hosting platform for auctions nationally. So you jump on Hybid, create an account, plug in your zip code, and you can set your radius to however far you want. I mean, you can look nationally if you like, and it will pull up all of the auctions within that area. So I usually keep mine to 25. Sometimes I'll go out 50, just depending on what town I'm willing to drive to. And yeah, we have a system for that now. So with the online auctions, the reason it's easier is because I can go through ahead of time, peg everything I'm interested in, research it, put in my max bids, and let it go. And I don't have to sit there and baby it, though I do, because I'm very much invested in what's closing and I want to know what I'm winning. But then I know what I've got, I know what it costs, and we just go the designated day to pick up. And it's like curbside a lot of times, like literally drive up, go in, grab my stuff, and leave. So it's not having to haul kids in and out of the vehicles all day. It's not them getting distracted and pixie-led by all the fun things that they find in the store. So from a business standpoint, for the value of my time and sanity, online auctions are stellar for me. So I also wanted to go over what my process is for online auctions. So most everybody knows how an auction works. You have your item. Sometimes there's a starting bid. Sometimes it starts at 0. Your descriptions, and people bid until nobody's bidding anymore or the time runs out. And then you win it. Now, a couple of key things with auctions to keep in mind. Pretty much every auction is going to have what's called a buyer's premium. And that is another percentage on top of your gavel price and your sales tax that you will pay for your item. So if you bought something for 20 bucks, you pay your sales tax. Most buyer's premiums are going to be between 10 and 18%. So depending on where that falls, you'll tack that onto your final price. So you'll pay a little bit more than what like the sold price says. So if you want to be all in at 10 bucks, keep in mind your sales tax and your premium. So you'll just adjust that, and every auction will tell you what their premium is. They're all a little bit different. The average is probably about 16 to 18. 10 is really low, 20 is pretty high. But they'll tell you that before you get into the auction. Go to their details section and it'll tell you how long the auction's running for. Typically they run for 3 days to usually no more than a week. Though I have seen some post out like 3 weeks, which is kind of agonizing personally. Anyway, So yeah, they'll tell you how long the auction runs for, what the buyer's premium is, and when and where, and the time frames for picking up your items. Another thing to keep in mind, because most auctions will have pickup days the next day. Some of them, like if it closes on a Saturday, you might have Monday pickup, or you might have a Sunday and Monday pickup. So just make sure you read your invoice. Most auction houses will email you your invoice with the rest of the information about pickup. So just a couple of little details so you don't get thrown for a loop or lose your item. A lot of auctions are pretty strict about your pickup times. If you don't pick up on the day that they tell you to pick up, you will lose your item and forfeit. Like, you still have to pay for it and you don't get it. Really sucks. Happens a couple times to us just due to some unforeseen circumstances, like we went to pick up and the car broke down or something like that. Doesn't happen often. Like I said, you just pay attention before you bid. Key there, before you bid. So yeah, now getting into what I found to be the most time efficient process of sifting through auctions. So say I plug in my zip code, have my 25-mile radius, I've got 5 auctions that are closing, within 2 weeks in that time frame. So I go to the soonest closing auction and I start scrolling, and they all have a little star, which is basically a save, and I save anything that looks interesting. Don't click on it, don't comp it, just save it, and it'll go to your watch list. After you're done going through and saving everything you either know is valuable or you think looks interesting and you want to find out more about it, then I go in and click each individual listing, read the details. A lot of times, if they're a good auction, they'll give you, the maker, if there's one to be found on it, what the item actually is. If it's a little funky looking and you don't know what it is, if you got a good auction house, they do their research, they'll find out what it is for you. And depending on what it is also, they'll give you dimensions. Now, not every auction house is great for that. Some auction houses will literally give you a single picture and a simple title, like coffee cup. Now, or teacup. Okay, y'all who resell china, there is a huge variance in the value of a teacup, depending on the maker, the pattern, all that jazz. So you have to kind of be able to do your own research, just going off of a photo, if that's all they've given you, and a generic title. So those auctions, while frustrating, can also be the ones that you get the best deals at, because other people aren't going to know what they're looking at either, so it's not going to be obvious that it's worth something. So then you go through, sift through, okay, you comped this, thought it might be worth something, it's not, delete it, get it out of your watch list. There's also another function that's a notes. So within each item, or each lot, because they're referred to as lots, there's going to be a notes section. And what I like to do is whenever I find my comps on the item, I put my range of what the item's worth in the notes section. So later on, because I usually comp my auctions several days before they actually close, so then the night that they're closing, I don't have to scramble and be like, oh, what was that actually worth? It's right there. I typed it in. So, great. So, yeah. Save, sift, what did I have? Comp, and delete. It's going to be your main process for online auctions. Adding in the notes, and then finally you have your bid cap. So what you'll want to do, and this is just down to personal preference. I tend to not like English. I don't like to bid generally until an hour or two before the auction closes. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, if I put in my cap bid and someone else bids and then I bid, that gives them longer to think about outbidding me. Whether that's valid or not, I don't know. That's just how I play the game. So my father-in-law, who also does online auctions, he finds his stuff and he puts in his max bids right away, and he'll be winning something for 3 days. And then you get down to 2 hours, and then the bidding war starts. So you never know. I've had things that look like they were going to go for dirt cheap because nobody bid on them. And I was just like, man, I'm going to get a great deal. I'm going to win all this awesome stuff. And then I don't win a single thing because in the last half hour, every bid shot up. That's just how it goes. Some days you win great stuff, some days you don't. Actually, this evening I had a vintage Ralph Lauren Aztec style puffer jacket that I was so sure I was going to win. I've been watching this thing for 4 days, putting my max bid at $150. Y'all, it literally had $6 bid on it until like 3 hours before the auction closed. And I got outbid at $155, and it's okay. It's okay. I'll recover emotionally. Maybe, till the next auction. But that brings me to my other point, is when you set your bid cap and auction. So auction fever is a thing, y'all. It really is. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I probably still would have made money on this jacket because it's like insane. The only other one I can find on the internet for sale is listed for $1,000 and has 53 watchers. Besides the point. You have to know when to just say uncle. And you know, when you're trying to budget and you don't have an unlimited what's the word? Investments? Unlimited income for investments? We'll go with that. You know, you've got to draw the line somewhere, and you know, my husband and I agreed, okay, this is our cap, this is what we're going to, and got outbid, that's what it is. So I definitely encourage you all to stick to your caps, stick to your bid caps, and just let it go. It's okay. There will be another one, I promise. Cannot tell you how many auctions I have agonized over and be like, no, this is the perfect deal, and I didn't win it. And it's okay. I've been doing this for 2 years. I can only think of 2 actual items that I still regret not buying. And we've had hundreds of auctions and items close. So, you know, if that helps you, makes you feel a little better about it. But yeah, so that's my tips. Going through an online auction, sift through it, save what you're interested in, comp them, delete, make notes, and stick to your bid caps. Like, it's pretty simple once you get the groove of it, and it's very addicting. I will warn you, if you're already a reseller, you know how this goes. Online auctions are just another layer to the reseller addiction. And it's portable. So, yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, enjoy. That's my information. That's my 2 cents on online auctions and why they work for us. So enjoy, have fun. Let me know, comment if you try it out. Let me know how it goes. Talk to y'all later.